Hey there, friendlies. How's up? I do hope this is working. Excuse me. I got a an advert at the start here. Let me mute the YouTube. Um, let me get my stuff ready here. So, okay. Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the latest episode of my live stream. We're a little late tonight. Something beyond my control. However, we are now here together at this point. Excuse me. Um, so, welcome to the Babies, Blades, and Bushcraft live stream for the 4th of June, where we have beverages, we have blades, and we sometimes talk about bushcraft. Can everybody hear me? I'm going to put the tea down on the heating thing. So, before we get to the show, I just want to usual housekeeping. That's the part where I say that if you're watching us time shift to tomorrow or next week or next month or whatever, thank you for throwing your eyes in my direction. Thank you for the comments you drop down in the doobly-doo below the video screen. And it's cool that you do so, even though you can't participate in the side chat the way the people who are watching live can. So that makes you cool in my book. If at any point tonight you kind of love what's going on, then I invite you to leave me a smiley thumb. Excuse me. If at any point tonight you kind of hate what's happening, that's all right. The frowny thumb works just as well. And if you would like to take a more active role in keeping the lights on around here, then I invite you to tap or click the join button also down below the doobly-doo. And there you will see that there are 2 tiers of membership available to you, as well as what each tier gets you for your hard-earned cash. So I did have some news and a reading and stuff put together, but I sort of did them on this after work, and it didn't propagate to the computer. So we will do that next week. Excuse me. So let's see who's hanging with us tonight before we go any further. Destiny was the first person in at 9:30 exactly. Yes, there is a live tonight. Got to have the live. Got to keep the show going, no matter what. Christy, who's a channel hero, said hi to Destiny. We got Country Boy, who's a channel hero and channel mod, saying, "What the funky chicken? I was losing my shift." Christy also says hi to me and to Scott, and Destiny says hi to Christy and to Scott, and we have Marcus popping in to say hi, and Destiny says hi to Marcus, and then Mark, hi by the way, who's a channel hero, says hi to everybody, as does Jennifer. Nice to see you, Jennifer. Destiny, glad to see Jess is okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's so I'm just gonna skip past everyone saying hi to each other, except hey, there's Chris. How's it going? Damn. Everyone's just saying hi to each other. There's nothing for me to. I'm just gonna make sure that Destiny is yes, we can hear you. Christy says yes, we can hear you. That's good. Christy says ay caramba for some reason. Chris can also hear me. This is great. A little whirlwind tour of the subs and friends here. Yeah, Chris says thumbs up. The hammer is close by. Thank you for doing the God's good works. Ian the Web Lord popping in. How's it going, Ian? Ian is also a channel hero. Stupid hay fever. Mark says, I have hit the thumbs up and I'm therefore not scared of the hammers. Good man. Good to see you here, by the way. Everyone's just saying hi to each other. What the hell? Even Russell's saying hi to everyone. He hopes everyone's having a great evening. I hope everyone is too. Al says, about time, it's almost my Betty Bye time. Al, you can't go to bed without having a dram, at least. Christy says, having a major heat wave for the next 4 days here, 43 degrees Celsius. Yeah, we are also in the middle of a heat wave. It's gross. I hate it. But hey, that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Russell is dropping Al some knowledge here. A nap is never a waste of time. That's true. That's very, very true. Canadian in the house. Canadian popped me a picture of his four-wheeler earlier. I was like, wow, did you just get that? He's like, yeah, in 2018. He's like, I was just mobbing on it and thought I'd send you a picture. And in fact, I believe he sent me a picture of that before, so I felt a little silly about that. Russell says, I've been clenching my teeth like crazy all day. What can I chew beside gum? Because he doesn't have any. I don't know. Bark? I don't know. What does one chew when they can't get at gum? I don't know. It's an interesting little question. Very interesting question. I just don't know. Like, you could, spruce sap. I mean, that's what gum was before they industrialized it, right? Mechanized gum production, turned it all into stupid chemicals. Al did have a nap. That's good. It's good. It's good. As Russell says, a nap is never a waste of time. Country Way says, our heat wave starts tomorrow and ends in October. Yikes. But it's a dry heat. Marcus is asking where David Evans is. I am unsure. Destiny's had unusually high winds these past few days. Hey, there's Grace. Hello, late. Better late than never. That's all right, Grace. I was also late today, so, Russell, I broke a tooth once chewing on a pen cap when I was a kid. So watch that. Just watch that. This tea's getting cold. Uh-oh. First tick of the season, Marcus, or first tick ever? I have so far been lucky with ticks. I haven't. Well, we never used to have them in Quebec, right? It's only due to the changing climate that we have them here at all. Or we never used to have the kind that would give you Lyme disease anyway. And so the Quebec medical establishment was very, very slow to pick up on what was happening. They're like, no, you can't have Lyme disease. This is Quebec. Oh, yeah? Christy says, chew on a water bottle cap, Raspberry Rock, or maybe a toothpick. Oh, a toothpick. That would be cinematic. Got a toothpick hanging out of his mouth. Hi there, mister. What you doing on my lawn? Big old toothpick. Get off my lawn. Locking and loading. 5 o'clock shadow. Well, he's already got a 5 o'clock shadow, but Boom, 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 boom. Russell's asking someone if they have video. How do I watch that? Nobody knows. It's a mystery. Marcus is his first. Oh, I see. I think Russell was asking if Marcus got video. First ever, yeah. Okay, the dogs have had them. Yeah, that's very, very common, for sure. Dogs don't. They don't have the same issue with Lyme disease as we do. Some dogs never present symptoms. In dogs, sometimes it can actually just clear up. Also, there are treatments you can give animals that for some reason there's no human equivalent to, like a shot or a pill or some damn thing. It's like a vaccination. Peanut Trucker's wife, Jennifer, says we are 79 degrees with a real feel of 87. It's hot and steamy here in the Florida Panhandle. Yeah, that sounds hot. Like not 40 degrees hot, but still hot. But the thing is, doesn't summer just kind of get hot and sticky down there and stay that way? Unless it's like a really rainy day or something. Or do I have Florida all wrong? It just seems that, it gets hot here. Like it doesn't sit at 40 degrees for a week hot here, but it can, it can hit the 30s. In fact, yesterday it was like 38, whatever that is in degrees freedom. So I just imagine that if it can get that hot here, then that far south, I shudder to think what summer is like in Florida. I would just be like, how do you live down here? Russell, is that? Oh, that was weird. I just dropped a frame. Are you guys getting a lot of buffering? What's up with my signal? Damn. I mean, I'm supposed to be 400 down and 50 up. This is not supposed to be happening to me. Darn burn it. Sorry about that, guys. Look, there's all the kinds of things that can cause dropped frames. You know, you could be Russell, or in my case, you could be. Nope, I'm not using Wi-Fi. Okay. So I don't know. Something's happening out there. There's something happening here. Anyways, whatever. Let me know if you guys see like freezing or buffering, because if I get a lot of freezing and buffering throughout my next few live streams, then maybe I will not stay with my new internet service provider. Russell's asking if Marcus got it off intact. Luckily, it was just starting to attach and got it off with just my fingers. Okay, so you didn't have to worry about like the head being buried or anything like that. Oh, Canadian was at Corbeil today. Did you buy anything? Did you pick me up a 30-30 stop? Yeah, so where was Marcus when this happened? Destiny says, we better not get those killer skeeters this summer. They're like deer flies when they bite. Take a chunk of your skin. Really? Is there like a new kind of is there a new kind of skeeter out there? Great big ones? Like a syringe? And all your blood goes out of your body? That'd be terrifying. That's a horror movie waiting to happen. Gross. Russell says, I've had the dogs tested several times for Lyme. Junebug went on antibiotics once, maybe twice. Yeah, it seems to be a lot simpler to deal with in your animals than it is to deal with in you. Marcus says, I was cutting the grass this evening and just must have come into contact when I went under the trees. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's weird because long grasses are bad for ticks, and like shrubberies and stuff, but I didn't know that they could drop on you from trees, because if I'm getting this right, they're not jumpers, right? They don't jump. They fall onto you. So I don't know. Russell that's a really weird place to pick up a tick. I guess it's a dog tick. Do you have a picture? And not all ticks carry the Lyme, right? Like deer ticks are bad. Like there's a few. All of this is stuff I've read about, though, right? Because as I said, I didn't grow up in a Quebec that was familiar with this kind of tick Lyme disease thing at all. So like all of my knowledge is I mean, not secondhand, but it's all theoretical. It's all stuff I've read, or you know, little videos by Health Canada or whatever saying beware of ticks kind of thing. It's so I don't have like a long history of knowledge for this kind of thing at all. Destiny says, oh gosh, yes, that hot humid Quebec summer. I wonder if it's the same kind of humid in Florida. All I know is, man, in the dog days of summer, like you lie down on your bed here, and then when you get up, it's like because you're stuck to the sheets because of all the dampness. It's gross. Russell says, out here I only find ticks where the deer have been because they need a vehicle to get around. Exactly. Yeah. Jennifer says it was 100+ field today. That is lousy. Peanut Trucker says, Florida is hot and sticky all summer. I sweat just walking outside. Yeah, yesterday, man, I took a shower at noon, and I felt better for about 30 seconds. Okay, so I just paused that one time. I wonder what that was. Maybe it was like sunspots, an EMP. No, because I wouldn't be back if it was an EMP. Jennifer too, just one glitch. Okay, that's good. Oh, Marcus, I was so freaked out. I kind of brushed it off and onto my wife. We couldn't find it afterwards. We were still outside. Well, here's hoping that it disappeared into the grass and your wife isn't going to find it. Like, getting into her nightly shower or something. Mark says a glitch in the Matrix. Yeah. Hey, can I show you guys something I bought recently? I was going to do a review video of it, but it's a ho-hum product, and the review would be a ho-hum. Well, you know what? Maybe I should do it anyway. But here, this is a forage bag, right? You put it on your belt, and if you're picking up whatever, I am going to collect cedar bark for kindling or for tinder. You do this, and it opens up. I mean, anyone who's been on Bushcraft USA or watched enough bushcraft videos will know exactly what this is, right? And I kind of feel that they didn't put all the work in. I got this off of Etsy. Like, so this here is supposed to, come on, fool. I mean, you know what these are supposed to be, right? Like you pull it tight and then you pull this and it keeps it tight, but forget about it. It's like the hole is too big. Okay. And then none of this is make or break stuff. I mean, it's just a forage bag, so I don't really care. It's not going to go flying off my belt or anything. Let me check that. So then this folds up, right, to little snap, what the British would call a popper, but it's really easy to open up. Like if you brush against a branch, this is going to pop open, and which means I should check the snaps on the belt side, because that would be funny, right? So these these are a lot better. Okay, this thing ain't coming off your belt anytime soon. Oh my goodness. Oh, that one's easy. Okay, so there's one wicked snap on this entire thing. Look, it was like $35, right? Whereas a lot of these things can hit like $80 easy, because they're leather and canvas construction. The leather is kind of flimsy. This is like a 7 pound, whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. I bought this because I tried to make one of these once, and my leather work was not up to snuff, and honestly, neither was my sewing machine. So when I saw this for an affordable price, I was like, yoink. But now I know exactly why it was an affordable price. I love the colors, right? Although maybe I'd prefer it if this was just a raw leather instead of dyed. But I mean, it's not a make or break thing. If I ever get a really good one, I'll give this to my daughter so that because it'll still work as a forage bag. That's the thing. It's, oh, it's flimsy. Who cares? You're not carrying the crown jewels in this thing, right? You're going to pop this baby open and walk around collecting, like, I don't know, berries or sticks or adulation. So anyway, this just came a couple of days ago, and I was going to do a video on it, but I don't have the meh. And the thing is, part of that might be because I don't want to essentially badmouth a small business on Etsy, right? Like if this was one of the sort of the bigger brand ones and it was like this, hey, you know what? I would do a video and I would be like, oops. this is shite from the rooftops. But because it's a small maker, I kind of feel, less inclined to like, can I just, like, how hard is it to take snaps off? Can I just take the snaps off and replace them with better ones? It's not even worth it. No, I'm not going to mess around with the snaps. I'm just going to use it as is. Anyways, I would put the link down below, but no. Boom, ba ba ba. My sinuses are just not loving me tonight. Oh my snap. I was yipping and yapping, and I just... Russell, Marcus, try and get another one on you so we can get a pic. Yeah, okay. As Marcus says, the trees are more like brush at the edge of the field. The branches go to the ground. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe they got swept off a deer and then onto you as it passed by or something. Hey, look who's here. David Evans, channel hero, channel mod. Be polite or be hammered into the dirt. Russell picking up where I left off. Yeah, Destiny. Poor Mrs. Marcus. I hope the dick didn't stick. Yeah, me too. Jim's here listening on his way home, on the long drive home. You're not missing as much as usual, Jim, because I came on late. Oh, excuse me. Marcus says the mosquitoes are brutal here this year. We haven't. Yeah, we've had some, but like, I just want to put a bat house in at the peak of my garage. On the outside wall of the peak. I'd like to put a bat house there because you do that and they take out like 1,600 mosquitoes a night, kind of thing. I would be out there with lighting on, shooting nighttime videos. I'm here in the nighttime. If you hear that, those are bats solving my mosquito problem. 3 cheers to the bats. Hip, hip, hooray. Hip, hip, hooray. ASMR bats. Hip, hip, hooray. Because you got to be quiet when it's after dark. You don't want to wake up the neighbors. Didn't Bryan Adams have an album out called Waking Up the Neighbors? Stop yawning. Destiny says yes to the mosquito question. Afterbite has been a sharp increase in sales. Really weird skeeter bumps that hurt as well. Really interesting. Not in a good way. Just not in a good way. Everyone's saying hi to David and back and blah, blah, blah. Grace has heard that ticks don't drop from trees, but I don't know for sure. But yeah, but it sounds like he's talking about more like brush. More like bushes, like not a shrubbery because that's suburban, but the leaves are down at the ground. It might have gotten swept off the arse of a deer onto a leaf, and then onto him. Man on the street says, I had lime once, found it bitter, sweet, and bitter at the same time. If you're not careful, I'm going to be making cocktails. Russell says, pick of the tick next time. Marcus, just grab it with your fingers. I carried one for 20 minutes not long ago. The weather and temperature differences between Florida and here are interesting. We went to Florida once in early January, cold as heck. Wore our winter coats all week. Streams were covered in ice. Yeah, great pocket for birch bark. Absolutely. Birch bark, cedar bark, stuff like that. Absolutely. Pine tips or like spruce tips. I was going to make spruce tip tea, but things got a little complicated before it came on today, so nothing got prepared. Yeah, Destiny's asking something that I've wondered. I think I've asked Chris this. Do you ever cross the border into Canada? And I don't think he does. I think he did at one point, but I don't think he does. Grace woke up one morning a couple of weeks ago with an itch on my back. Turned out it was a tick. Oh no, how long had that been there? Like with Mike, we were just talking about Florida. How's the weather? Actually, I know it's stinking hot and sweaty down there. I was talking to because Jennifer is in the Panhandle. Was it Jennifer? Am I right about that? And I was saying that even up here this week it's been like 38 degrees and sweaty. Yeah, exactly, Russell. If I'm only using it for foraging stuff like bark, it's not too important if it accidentally comes open. That's the thing. I can't imagine, like, what would you put in a foraging pouch that would devastate you if it disappeared? Like, unless you found a piece of chaga or something. But even then, like, what's happening is, oh no, it turned into a bag, right? I mean, I do look. I wish that tightening it was less of a chore. It would be funny if I was doing this and it like and the string snapped on camera, right? And it's right. I mean, I can still tighten it up like this, but maybe it's too new still. There we go. Scratch the nose. So yeah, it was dead affordable, right? $35. The looseness of the poppers, snaps, is not going to lose me like a $600 knife or something, because you don't put those in here. You know, it's not going to lose me a water purifying kit, because that's not what these pouches are for. These pouches are literally supposed to be like this on your belt, and you're out there and you're like, I need some birch bark. I need some spruce tips. I need some tiny sticks for not kindling, but tinder, right? So it's not a make or break thing. Big drought down here in the swamps right now. Really? Interesting. We had a bunch of rain, and then it just sort of stopped, and it's been dry for the past week. So I had to water the garden. We planted a lot of things, and I don't want to lose my garden this year. Last year it was just an epic letdown. Epic. The only thing that grew was kale. And I was going to say and tomatoes, but I didn't get any tomatoes. I didn't get one. Not one. Usually, like, we plant 2 plants, or like we throw down like, I don't know, three seeds, and we end up with half the garden being taken over by tomato plants. Partly because the squirrels come and they chow down on like a quarter of a tomato, and then the seeds fall. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, so I'm not losing my garden this year. It's got off to a good start, and I want it to stay that way. Country Boy says, if you're using it for morals, accidental opening would be bad. Bark, no big deal. But the thing is, I wouldn't be using it for morals because I would love to have that knowledge, but I refuse to pick a damn mushroom until I've had an actual course. There's a lot of stuff that I don't need a course. I read a book, I watch some YouTubes. All right, I can start a fire, or whatever. I'm just pulling things out of the ether, because that's not how I learned to start a fire. But mushrooms I ain't touching without like a course with an expert. There's no way. There's just no way. I would love to be able to sort of pick a peck of chanterelles, and cook them over an open fire in a cast iron pan with a big glug of cream and stuff. But I'm not touching mushrooms until I've been shown by an expert. Human being. That one's poisonous. It looks almost identical to that one, which is delicious. Whatever, brown gills instead of white, or whatever it is. Like, no. But yeah, obviously, like, if you fill this thing full of truffles or something, and they all fell out on your way back to camp, that would be devastating. Absolutely. Sorry, I think there's stuff happening in the Discord. I'll just check on it. Man on the street just showed me something. Did he comment here? That looks like Windex. Hold on. Let me see if he's said something. How late am I going tonight? Russell asks. Until 11. I can't go late because I have to be at the office tomorrow. You know, I may go a little late, but like I'm not going to go till midnight or anything like that. I might be able to go till 11:30, but I mean, if I start to, then I'm just going to cut it short. David, the canvas is not flimsy at all. It's a nice weight of canvas. In fact, I need to use it up. I need to use it a bit to get the canvas to be more flexible, because right now it's still really structural, shall we say. So like when I'm trying to do this, you really got to reef on it to, you know. But I mean, this is, I think if the snaps were better, I would be very, very into this thing, because the very light leather shouldn't be a problem. It's not a knife sheath. It's not an axe sheath, you know, or an axe mask. Sorry. So it doesn't have to be. Like maybe I'm projecting from the lousy snaps outward, upward, downward, dog. What? Shut up. Okay. Wait, where's Al's joke? Did I miss a joke? Well, I had a line once. Yes, I did laugh at that joke, Russell. How come you not listening? Is that what's going on? Because here, wait, did anyone laugh at Al's joke? Wait for it. Here it comes. Quality snaps are hard to come by. I spent good money on several different types of snaps and yet to find good ones. It definitely seems that way, for sure. Al says that Russell smells of elderberries. Yes. What was it? Your father was an Amster and your mother smelled of elderberries. Peanut trucker's wife, Jennifer, girl after my own heart, wants a bad house. I would love one. However, that did not pass muster here in the house. It's the Russell and Al show over here, you people. Russell and Al. Peanut Trucker says that okay, so Peanut Trucker and Hike with Mike live in different parts of Florida, if I remember correctly. And apparently where Peanut Trucker and Jennifer live, they've had some rain. Destiny's asking something that I don't know the answer to. Did Stacy ever get any bats when she put up her bat house? I don't know. I kind of feel like I should ping her and ask. Central Florida, no rain in a while. All the campgrounds are in a no campfires ban. Interesting. Oh, we're probably gonna have the same thing here too. I mean, it's wildfire season in Canada right now. I mean, it's the start of wildfire season in Canada right now. Man on the street, simplify, brother. What color is that? That is blue. It's blue, yabba do yabba. Ah, I know what he's saying. Good man. Enjoy that dram. I did not have time to bring down a dram glass, so I will be sucking off the bottle. Gloop. Just kidding. Yeah, I wish I brought down a glass. David, deer flies were out here today. Must be the warm weather. So it seems to me that if you camp up until the end of May, you're okay. But as soon as June hits, June straight through till like Augusty, that's when the bugs are. But deer flies and mosquitoes and like black flies, aren't they all slightly different parts of the summer? I mean, with some overlap. Am I getting that right? Tell me you're urban without telling me you're urban. Hey, you know what? You might be able to add a drawstring to that pouch, just the cloth part. Open it up, fill it, pull the drawstring close. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, the Panhandle, Lower Alabama. We are Central Time Zone over here. Okay, so you're a little earlier than me. Russell says, "Oh, there is a string. Unobservant is one of my middle names." Yes, the pouch is small. They had different sizes, and this seemed to be. Well, here's the thing: I'm not great at sort of knowing what size something is. Like, I think this would be good for certain things, but like if I'm going for a really big bundle of, you know, tiny twigs, firecraft theory here. Okay, um, a lot of people, and I'm guilty of this in a lot of my videos because I'm trying to keep the videos going. But a lot of people don't use enough tinder when they're making their fires. Okay, what you want a nice big. Hold on, let me just close this up. I keep opening it to talk about it. Like your tiny little sticks, and all the way up to your pencil size. It needs to be like this. You need to have a big thing, like about this big around, and put that down, because what that does is, um, because your first layer of combustibles burns up fast, like unless you have those little, you know, wax impregnated, blah blah blah, right? So you want that to be a really big pile of stuff, and then your next size up. You still want it to be pretty big, but it doesn't have to be quite so large. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I've got this little tiny blah blah blah," and then they're blowing and blowing, and the fire's just not catching. Or well, sometimes it does, but pretty often it doesn't. Um, So like if I'm it might be a little small if I'm going for a big honker of that. Um, but by the way, I did also see what you did there, David. I'm just, you know, trying to keep it informational around here. Just trying to keep the information flowing, get the knowledge, get it out there, casting pearls and hoping that they're just being picked up and loved. Just love the knowledge. Pick up those pearls. Tuck them into your little brainy brains. Pearls of knowledge. Come, follow me. I will show you the ways of firecraft. Um, if you camp at Torreya State Park on the eastern time of the Apalachicola River, cell phone tower for Torreya is on the other side in the central time zone. That kind of stuff is weird, eh? Ah, there it is. I did cross into Canada in 1990 from New York across the Trans-Canada Highway, dropping down into International Falls, Minnesota. Okay, so it was just like a little boop. And you crossed a couple of times from Detroit, but that's your Canadian travels. That's it, eh? That's all? Destiny says, I've always wondered, what does chaga tea taste like? I would say no. I was gonna say dirt, but it doesn't. It's a loamy, earthy, not herbaceous, but loamy and earthy. Um, like earthy in a good way. I like flavors that taste like the soil and the earth. So chaga tea works for me. There's like a lot of discording happening here, but I'm not seeing anything. I just keep hearing ba boop, ba boop. I say ba boop. What? What? I say. Oh, okay. So there's Russell is asking if people still follow Mellow. Oh, in fact, Russell says chaga tea is kind of earthy, not in a bad way. Yeah. Hey, Carol's here. How's it going? She's saying hi to one and all. Okay, so Country Boy is telling Peanut Trucker to come west and then north. I'll meet you with a root beer. I hope that's an A&W root beer. Hey, anyone here old enough to remember Hires root beer? Everyone's saying hi to Carol. Yeah, there's an offer that you would be silly to refuse, Destiny. If Russell sends you some chaga, you'll be a happy camper. Al says, we get murdered in May by, wait for it, mayflies. Really? So mayflies, like, how would they compare to like black flies or horse flies and stuff like that? Russell says, typically around here, black flies is May, deer flies and mosquitoes are June through September 1st, but everything moved up this year for some reason. That's probably because of the climate changing and all that. Destiny is taking Russell up on his offer. I think that is very smart, Destiny. You too will know the magic of chaga tea. Good pouch for Tinder, yes, especially if you know it's going to rain the next day. Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. If you head out and you're on a dry day, but like the next day or two are going to be like rainy, pick up as much tinder as you can carry and get it under your tarp, because you know, big honking sticks. Oh, they got rained on, they're wet. You can take a knife or an axe and just shave that down until you get to the dry inner part. Do it under your tarp, obviously. But when your tinder is all soaking wet, forget it. You're hooped. You're humped. Al, tinder sminder, accelerant is the key, man. Nope, I do not use accelerant. And I told you guys about the guy who set my sister on fire using accelerant. Fun times. Oh, apparently I got the the name right. Nice. Country Boy, Peanut Trucker says to Country, we don't do much Canada with this company. And I thought he meant like with the company here, like, you know, having company. I was like, what? But then I remembered, well, with that. Well, I guess, you know, some companies specialize in border crossing and some don't, right? I mean, we eat a lot of peanuts up here. David says, deer flies are the worst. I can handle mosquitoes, especially with all the dragonflies we have this year. Yeah, I love dragonflies. I said that in my last live, I think, that I love they look so prehistoric and they eat mosquitoes. So that plus that equals epic win. Destiny says, oui, cherche ce soir. He doesn't always come. You know, I mean, he works early in the morning. So if he's feeling tired, he goes to bed, right? Country Boy says, if you ever head north across the border from Seattle, let me know. Gay Bitch, how's it going? Cotton on Vaseline is the best. Oh, that's for starting fires? Yeah, I've used that before for sure. And the nice thing about it is that it burns long enough to make sure that it catches. You know, it's like those little, you know, cotton balls wrapped in dipped in oil. Sorry, we're talking about oil. Wax, right? Molten wax, especially those little sort of cotton. They look like earplugs, but they're smaller. Stuff like that. You know, you break them open, you rough them up, you light them, and they're just magical. So yeah, absolutely. I just find that the cotton balls with the Vaseline is messy. You know, you open up the baggie and you start. But absolutely, yeah. And that's what Gabe starts. You know, that's Gabe's introduction to the side chat tonight. So if ever you guys want to know how to enter a side chat, dropping a little knowledge bomb like that is going to get me giggling and impressed. Russell says, dragonflies are abundant this year. They need to do their darn job already. Absolutely. Okay, so mayflies are essentially gnats, but they come out like Mad in May. That's the name. Okay, so they're small. Like, you know, some some bugs, like little no-see-ums or whatever, they're so small that you can have your bug net on, and they're like, "Don't care. I'm the honey badger when it comes to your little bug net." Gabe Itch just bought a new Mora Black for your birthday. 56 years young today. Nice. Happy birthday. I turned 52 on the 21st of May, and Peanut Trucker's birthday was the 12th of May. So happy birthday, everyone. Happy belated, everyone. Well, actually, Gabe's birthday's today. Did you get anything else cool for your birthday? Mora Black's a nice choice. Oh, yeah, and Jennifer, Peanut Trucker's wife's birthday was yesterday. Yeah. David Evans. Yes. You can make good fire starter with an egg carton, dryer lint, and paraffin wax. I made terrible fire starter with an egg carton, dryer lint, and wax. It was just an epic fail. So I'm going to do it again. In fact, I videoed it. I put up that video, and because I always said, that on my channel, if I epically fail at something, the video is going up anyway. It reminds me of my humility. Reminds my viewers that I don't do how-tos that you're meant to just slavishly follow. I think you should always learn proper technique rather than just following a random bushcrafter's technique and whatever. But I did intend to redo that, like figure out what I'd done wrong and redo that, and I haven't gotten around to it yet. Okay, so Al says, yeah, a screen or bug hat will do nothing for them. Okay, so those are the ones where you kind of have to just dip yourself in permethrin and let them die. So happy birthday, Jennifer. Yesterday, actually, I told you happy birthday yesterday. They went on a wine tasting that looked very nice. Yeah, actually, interesting question from Destiny. Did you get a cake, Jennifer? I hope you did. Everyone deserves a cake on their birthday. My wicked stepmom's birthday was just a week ago as well. It's an excellent time to be born. Evidently, people get really, really bored in the cold part of the year. Country Boy uses toilet paper rolls stuffed with lint or cotton and wrap them up with newspaper to hold everything in. As long as my kindling is dry, they work awesome. Yeah, that sounds good. That looks good. Excuse me. I think I saw someone in Bushcraft USA do something similar to that at one point, if I remember correctly. Nope, she got special cupcakes that look like flowers. We've done cupcakes instead of one big cake before, too. David likes to use a butane lighter. I saw Russell use in one of his videos. Works great, plus they're refillable. I use a lighter for if nothing is working, because what you don't want is to end up without a fire, especially if it's on a cold. It's October. You need a fire. I want a fire even when it's 30 degrees out, because of what I've said before, that the fire gives my campsite a sense of place. It creates a center for me to orbit around in the camp. It's like having I don't know. It's like having a TV in the den or the living room or something, right? It's the central element around which everything else works. So maybe it's more like the couch, but I like to have a fire. Obviously, I'm not going to have a fire when there are fire bans on, but don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Raspberry Ox says the ones they use for baking burns even in a strong wind. Yeah, awesome. Are you guys talking about a lighter or a baker's torch? Gabe says, nah, just order a Hawaiian pizza with extra ananas. Best pizza. Gabe, I think you may know what my philosophy is about Hawaiian pizza, but everyone's friends here. Ananas, isn't that the word for it in almost every language except English? Where did pineapple come from? It makes no sense. I think you might be right about that, or that it's ananas in several different languages anyway. But I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. I do not know. Trying to get comfortable here. It's weird, like when I'm not feeling great, like my sinuses are killing me because I've got allergies. It's like it's hard to sort of get comfortable anywhere. Peanut Trucker sent the picture to Facebook Messenger. Let me take a look at Facebook Messenger. Well, I mean, you're talking about the pictures you sent me from your wine tasting yesterday. Does that mean I can share them? Oh, you sent something else. Oh, I'll show the second picture because I'm not sure what the philosophy is on showing your faces online, but these are cupcakes. Those are crazy. When I said, yeah, we do cupcakes sometimes, I mean like cupcakes with like My Little Pony on them or something. Wow. What were the flavors of those? I'm sure one of them was a Queen Elizabeth, not a Queen Elizabeth, a red velvet. That's crazy, man. That's amazing. That's some ingenuity there, some baking ingenuity. Yeah, I'm with Destiny on this. Those are like holy crap level cupcakes. I shudder to think how much those cost. I shudder to think what those cost. So were they delicious though? Like, it's like been a couple of times that I've sort of bitten into like a premium cupcake and been like, that's dry. I mean, it's pretty, but it's dry. Were they did the flavor and the moisture match the image? I'm guessing yes. Yeah, that was good at it. Did I ever show you guys in an earlier live stream the my 40th birthday cake? When like you guys know, and you guys have seen this a lot, but like this was my 40th birthday gift to myself, right? Back in the day. And so, and I don't know if I've told you guys this, but what my wife did was she contacted a local high-end cake maker and sent the cake maker the image of this base that the studio sends you. Yeah, I'm putting it back. And so the woman turned that into my cake, which was epic, and it was like 4 feet long or something. Did I share that picture with you guys in an earlier live stream? I feel like I may have. I still had hair at that point. 40 is 12 years ago. 40 is 12 years ago. Peanut Trucker says they weren't cheap, but very delicious. Yeah, man, those are cool. I approve of your choice. So good, so good. Talking about birthday cake is making me want cake. I should not eat cake because I've been putting on the pounds lately, in spite of my best interests. Anyways, I think those are lovely, absolutely lovely. Steel buns, you can come on when you want.
Is that on?
Yeah.
Howdy, can you hear me? Okay. Yep. Hey. What is everybody's favorite birthday cake? I just got thinking about that.
That's a good question. I have a few favorites.
Really?
Oh, I wanted to ask Peanut Trucker. Were those cupcakes like different flavors, or were they all sort of the same flavor with different kind of icing on them? Because when we buy cupcakes for special occasions, it usually like you choose this one is a caramel, this one's a red velvet. You know, someone always gets a red velvet, right? And I don't love red velvet cake at all, but you know, Peanut Trucker says, "Oh man, hell yes, Al,
Oh
yes."
yeah, yeah, that's really
Oh
nice.
man, yeah.
I don't like the just a plain cake with icing on it. You know, the plain vanilla cake. That's got to be something different for me. But yeah, carrot cake with it. Oh yeah, that's
Oh
really
yeah.
nice.
By the way, David says that largemouth bass season slap opened in Ontario last Saturday. I got myself a couple of nice fishies. Nice.
You got some largemouth bass there, David? Did you did you put them on ice for me?
Is bass a fish that I can eat?
Damn it, we've been over this so many times. I need
If
to
it's a
look
white
up.
fish, I can eat it. Yeah, Peanut Trucker says when you got a craving for sweets, a couple of scoops of peanut butter will work. Not for me because my peanut butter is that 100% stuff. So there's no sweetness to that. I have to add a little bit of honey in there or some jam or
Oh
something.
yeah. I was gonna say a little bit of honey in your peanut butter. Oh yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
the stuff right there.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it in a spoon. Where you get some
Yeah. Oh, I
spoonful of
know.
peanut butter and you make a little hole in the middle and
Yeah. Look who you're talking to. Of course, I would know about such things.
honey isn't fattening, is it? Oh, by the way, I was gonna say, guess who lost 4 pounds recently?
Who? Not me.
Junebug.
Junebug. Wow.
She's on a bit of a diet, and it worked. Trimming down.
Nice.
She's
Looking
got a bad
all.
ear infection.
Oh, I see. David likes Black Forest cake. I also like Black Forest. It's not like in my
Yeah.
top 5, but I also really like it.
Anything
Man on
with
the street says it has to be Melissa's carrot cake.
anything with fruit in it is good.
Yeah, true. Grace says spice cake with hickory nuts caramel icing. I don't know what that is, but I want it.
Oh, I like. Yeah, that sounds really good. Anything with caramel is on my list. I
Spice
love
cake
caramel.
sounds like kind of a coffee cakey kind of thing to me. Like,
Yeah,
is
what are
it
the
spicy
spices? Is
like
that?
with? I'm thinking like a lot of sort of maybe nutmeg, cinnamon,
I was thinking
cloves.
cinnamon.
Yeah. David says they're cleaned and in the freezer.
Oh man.
Destiny says a banana cake my mom used to make with some wicked homemade icing. Egg beater vision.
Sorry.
Not the icing sugar stuff. So wish we still had her recipe book. You gotta, man. If somebody, I don't know, maybe that person passed or moved into what's it called? A hostel? No, not a hostel. You know, the home for the old peoples. That did not work out well. But
Was there a joke in there?
no, I'm trying to say that when mom either moves on or moves into a home, get the damn recipe book. Absolutely.
There's only one thing I need from my mom's recipe book, and it's the dough for apple pie. Well, I guess
Really?
it doesn't matter if it's apple pie or whatever, but she made the greatest pies. Oh, she still does.
Yeah. Destiny says that's a thumbs up for cake for sure. Absolutely. Whoa. Gabe Itch lost 90 kilograms in 18 months.
That is phenomenal, Gabe.
Wow.
90 kilograms.
Yikes. That's amazing.
That's like, is that 200 pounds? That's more than 200 pounds, isn't it? Let me do some quick math.
Well, I know that my target weight is 80 to 85 kilos, and I'm way above that.
You lost a whole Jess, Gabe.
Yeah. So.
Oh, sorry, Jess at his ideal weight.
Yeah. So I think that's bloody amazing. Yeah, because I think 90 is about 200 pounds, right? And I want to be down south of that. I am down south of that, but
90. Yeah, it's 188 pounds. It's pretty close, but yeah, I would love to be below that too.
Yeah.
But that's really great, Gabe. Way to go.
I love that.
I bet you feel amazing.
Yeah. Peanut Trucker says they were all vanilla cupcakes. Okay, that's what you guys like the most is the vanilla. I feel that like
what was on the cupcakes? I forget.
Oh, it was just like really fabulous icing. Did you see the picture?
Oh no, did you show it? Or I might have been joining when you showed it. It's okay.
Here.
Oh.
They look like flowers.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Man, there's building cakes and by extension cupcakes, and then there's like artists' work. You know,
Yeah.
there's like
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
really clever stuff.
Yeah, here's another picture of one of them, and a couple of cats. I miss having cats.
Cat tax.
Cat tax. Yeah. And that sounds great. It sounds like Chris and Jen had a great couple of birthdays, which is nice. Destiny, he lost a whole chest and 2 Kardashians.
The Kardashians are negative then?
I would like to say that I think Destiny has her first entry into the Book of Quotable Quotes or whatever it's called. Grace says, hickory nuts taste similar to pecans, not pecans, but they aren't sold in stores. I have to harvest them, then crack the shells with a hammer because hickory nut shells are as hard as hickory wood. Takes a lot of work. Hickory wood is some hard-ass wood. And they taste similar to pecans, eh? Interesting. I want to try these nuts.
I don't know that I've ever had a hickory nut.
I want to try these nuts.
That's what she said.
Like as soon as I said that, I was like, "Oh, can't grab that," and you know. Destiny says, "Yes, it is an honor to have my own entry in the Quotable Quotes. Score, epic win."
That needs some context though, because
yeah,
you bring that out one day, or we'll all be like, "What?"
Context.
Maybe that's the point though.
Bring a little mystery to the conversation.
Funnier without context.
Many things are funnier without context. Absolutely. And now, just because I haven't done it in a few minutes.
Yeah, are you going to bed with that tonight?
No, I don't like it that much. You know, you just reminded me that when I was a kid, when my sister and I were both kids, because I was a kid, and she was 2.5 years younger than me. So if I was a kid, she was a kid. We were kids. Christmas Eve, we each got to pick one gift from our parents or whatever and take that to bed. And that would be the first thing we opened the next morning.
Oh, usually. Okay.
I mean, this is before Santa swung through and dropped a bunch of gifts, right? There were always a few gifts from our parents, and then Santa would do his drop.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Beto's here. How's it going, Beto? Beto, what's your favorite birthday cake? We were just having that conversation, and I think that you might have some opinions upon that. Oops. Devon Street says, I think that thing is Jess's new sock.
Oh, the pouch?
What the hell's a new sock? I feel there's a reference there that I'm missing, and I'm feeling stupid.
I think there's a joke there, but we won't go into it.
I'm about to Google new sock, but I'm just gonna let it. I'm just gonna let it drop. You know, drop it like it's hot.
Anyway, I thought usually it's you can open one present before bedtime, Christmas Eve. That way, it kind of curbs the excitement and makes sure the kids don't get up at 4 a.m.
Like, here's the thing: I'm French Canadian, so most of our family opened the gifts before bed on Christmas Eve. Like the ones that were not Santa Claus, right? I mean, in French Canada, Christmas Eve is the big one because Christmas Day was always when you went to church, and then had a big meal, right? Like before the Quiet Revolution. And I mean, the Quiet Revolution in the '60s, when the whole province sort of divested itself of the Catholic je ne sais quoi. That was such a large change in our society that the accent changed, but so, parts of my family were still living the old life in certain ways. It was still a very Catholic family. And so Christmas Eve was when most of their gifts were opened. But because it wasn't completely French Canadian, it was a melange of the two. So some people did their gifts on Christmas Day, some Christmas Eve. You do your gifts, you'd have a party, and then you'd go to midnight mass, and then you go to I don't remember exactly, but I went to midnight mass a few times, which for me was hellacious.
I can't believe in the same spiel there you got a little religious, a little political, and a little separatist. But I guess it's also political. But yeah, and then came back and
Well, I mean, that's all things that are, those are all things that are there in this society, right? I mean, there's still the ghost of separation there, a little bit.
yeah. What percentage of if we can do this without getting too political, right? I don't think anybody watching has a real is really invested in the whole Quebec separatist thing. But if you can answer this, like what percentage of Quebecois are still interested in separatism? You know? Yes.
I would say 80% of the people in the National Assembly. But outside of that, it's generational. Like people of my generation, the vast majority of my friends live the same situation as I do, right? An Anglo, a Franco, and 1 to 3 fully bilingual children, right? It's hard to sell sovereignty to that kind of situation. And the people below us, same deal. I mean, look, everyone is a separatist in high school because because in high school you need like a politics to be, that's when some kids are communist and some kids are revolutionary and some kids are separatists. But like that's just teenagehood, right? Everyone they go for the extreme political philosophy. That word isn't right.
I would have thought that happens more in post-secondary, but sure.
Students are very political. It fragments more in post-secondary, but students are very political and they lose. Like my mom went to all the separatist parties in the 60s because there was free beer. You know what I'm saying? Like, Anglo parties were nowhere near as big, as brash, or as alcoholic as Franco parties, and Franco parties were by default separatist parties.
So that's the problem. They didn't serve free beer.
But like people, like the whole two solitudes thing. The whole two solitudes thing was like our grandparents' generation and my parents' generation. They're the ones who were still like, the French, les Anglo. Now, I'm talking about Montreal. I'm talking about, and to a certain extent, Quebec City. Once you get out to the région, where, to swing an election, all you need to do is show up, in the churchyard with a big cookout, and suddenly people are going to vote for you. Then, that's a whole different ball of wax.
Hold on. Chris is leaving. Good night, Chris.
All right. Good night. Have a good sleep, mister.
I also have to say hi to Tim.
Hey, Tim's here. How's it going?
Good to see you, Tim.
Yeah.
Hope Christy's doing well.
Yeah. I've gotten lost. I don't know. I'm lost.
Here, maybe.
Does the pouch detach from the leather holder? No, it does not. It's sewn on. Yeah.
You could turn that pouch inside out and like hide the thing, right? Hide the leather part. I don't know why you'd want to do that. But
I don't want to put any effort into this because it's, as I said, the snaps are not great, but who cares? It was $35. If this was an $80 pouch, like, because the high the really quality ones cost a mint, right? Because they're all handmade out of leather and canvas and blah blah blah. Like this is machine stitched, right? And this is a flimsy ass tandy
for that price. Yeah, of course it is.
So my expectations were not great. So it's not going to hurt my feelings that this pouch is not absolutely killer, because for the price, it ain't bad. It's still going to do the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to do the job. And that's what I bought it for. A part of me kind of wishes that there was a version where this is not stained though, where it's just like the natural leather color. Like I wonder if the contrast between this and I went the wrong way, between this and this wouldn't be enough. Like it would look kind of pale.
Well, that's got to be fake leather, right? Like I don't know much about fake leather, but
No, it's real.
You can tell
It's
that by
real.
sniffing.
Yeah.
Does it smell like horse?
A horse is a horse, of course. It was also, marketed as genuine leather. It's just a very thin leather, right?
Okay. I just assumed it wasn't.
No, I wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't. Look, if that's like vinyl or whatever that leatherette or whatever fake leather is called, then I would expect this to be a $25, not a $35. I mean, it's Etsy, but come on.
It's $10.
Hey, you know what $10 is? No, I was going to say it's a sandwich, but it's not even.
Is it 2 Starbucks coffees?
Is it even 2?
I don't know. Every time City Girl talks about Starbucks, she always ends the conversation with, "And you don't want to know how much it cost."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you buy your Starbucks. I'm cool with that.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so Tim says Christy is in physical therapy, which I believe is what the rest of us call physiotherapy, right? It's the same thing. Balance issue seems to be in the neck tightness and causing her to become dizzy from it. The PT, that's physiotherapy, seems to be working. She can get up on her own from a chair now. My dad got vertigo at one point, and he actually had to learn to live with it rather than it just went away. So
that's scary. That's scary. I've had it. It's awful. God, it's really awful.
So when she the dizziness, I would be very worried about that.
Like that's like saying you got to live with feeling like really sick for the rest of your life. It's not just, whoa, the room is dizzy. It's like, I'm gonna throw up. It's so dizzy.
Yeah. It's I know.
But I'm glad she's responding to physical therapy there, Tim. I know that's a long, hard road for her. Right? It's a long, hard, painful road. But you tell her she's got this. She's gonna kick this.
Yeah. About 30 years ago. Do I want to tell this story? Oh, hey, Dr. Whoops, sorry. Dr. Sharp says fake leather comes from the polyvinyl cow. About 30 years ago, I had this weird thing where my thumb was whatever it's called when it's they fool me, ants, pins and needles, whatever, like kind of asleep.
Tingly?
And when I was playing bass, there was a nerve here that was jumping every time I stroked the strings or whatever it's called. This is called a hammer stroke.
Yeah.
And so I went to physio for it. And it turned out that, and by the way, this is very common for bass players because of the way like we drape this arm on the top of the bass and do this. It causes like tension right here, and so my physio discovered that that's exactly what's going on. There is tension here. Because I'm mirrored, I'm going in the wrong. There we go. So, but here's the thing. So my physio was about my age, Lebanese woman who was just killer looking. And I fell so hard for her because I would go in, I've got all this pain. And like for an hour, she would do all these things that eased the pain and made me feel better when I was leaving. And she was terrific looking. And it was mercy when I could finally stop going because, you walk in this person who knows intimate knowledge about how to use their hands to solve physical problems.
And she explored your body.
Well, no, it wasn't even about that, Russell. It was just like I've always been impressed by people with a skill. And when they happen to be just killer looking, it just
okay. I've got a story, but I can't tell you until after.
Okay. Tim says we are hoping she can start finally walking on her own soon. She will have to use a cane for a while. Sends her love to you guys. Well, I'm glad to know she's up and around. That's good. It's been a long recovery, but it is a long recovery. Beto says the international airport will only reopen at Christmas. The track was submerged, as is common. Beto, I forget where you are.
He's in Brazil. You've kind of missed the conversation Beto's having in the side chat. They had incredible floods. They got 8 months worth of rain in a week, and houses were submerged, and there's a horse on top of a house. And
yeah, I sort of read some of that, but I was only popping this in to reference that.
You were really lucky, Beto, eh?
Yeah. It's crazy. David says, "Oh my God, this is a family show." Yeah, I wasn't giving any, like, nothing happened, right? I was just...
We're doing physiotherapy, David. Come on.
Yeah.
With a hot chick who was all over Jess and explored his body. But in the, because of physio, he had stiffness and she had to fix it.
Okay. It's a family show, Russell.
But he had a stiff muscle.
It's not even a family show. This is way too late for a family show. But, still, let's maintain a certain air of decorum, shall we?
David took it there. We didn't.
He did. David, Mr. Single Entendre.
David, I blame you. Okay.
Yeah, it's important to be able to blame somebody.
Oh, too bad Chris left. I was going to tell this story about, because they were talking about how he once or twice crossed into Canada on his travels. And there was this one time I was driving out to Calgary, this late 90s, and I took the U.S. route. And I can't remember if I took it from Detroit or Sault Ste. Marie, but probably Detroit, because it's probably shorter. And I missed the whole Manitoba-Saskatchewan stretch, which will kill your mind as you drive across. It's so boring and straight and uninteresting. But it was in Montana that I had to stop because there was this, I don't know, it wasn't even a thunderstorm, but there was this lightning thing happening. And I got out of my car to watch. And it was one of those ones where the lightning started over here and just went across the whole sky. Like the whole sky was lit up with lightning. And then it ended at the other end. And I'm like, oh my God. It just happened over and over again. It was 100 times better than any lightning I've ever seen. It's just this, they call it like cloud to cloud lightning or something like that. And it just started over with one tendril and
sheet
just
lightning?
Branched out. So there's like hundreds of branches of lightning flashing across the sky. And I just sat there outside my car like, oh my God.
Yeah, I would like to have seen that.
One of the best things ever.
Yeah.
And I love Montana, even for the lack of trees.
Gabe says, that's the type of massage where they ask you want to shower before a session. No, it was a very professional. There was nothing, No,
you said it wrong. You want to shower? I don't know why you said it.
Yeah, I'm trying to maintain the decorum of the show here.
Okay.
Yeah, Destiny lives in Alberta. There's some spectaculars in Alberta, and it's sort of flat into mountains, so it's not quite the same.
I got a speeding ticket in Montana that I never paid.
Well, what are they going to do? Cross the border to get to you? But maybe
back then computers weren't a big thing,
right? So you may have this ticket on your file in Montana if you ever cross the border.
Yep.
I wonder what the statute of limitations is on tickets anyway.
25 years ago. Statute of limitations on speeding tickets? I wouldn't know.
Dear Google.
If I Googled that and then police showed up at my door, I'd be like, shit. You don't know it's me. My dogs also use Google.
Yeah.
Come on, Junebug's using Google right now.
Is there a statute of limitations for a traffic ticket? Oh, it's a YouTube.
Oh, I hate that. It's a simple answer.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't need a 7-minute YouTube video to yes or no.
Okay, Laurina, which I guess is a law site, Is there a statute of limitations on traffic tickets? No matter the state in which a citizen is issued with a traffic violation, they are required to pay the state for breaking the law. But is there a statute? Okay. What is a statute of limitations? I don't care. When you sign the ticket, that means you've been officially and legally charged with the offense. It also signifies that you acknowledge the charge by signing it. Did you sign the ticket?
I always wonder about that. Like, what if I just went and said, that's my signature? I don't remember signing a ticket. I probably, if that's what they did, then, I signed it, but
yeah, I don't know.
I'm not going back to Montana, I guess.
Oh, forget about it. No way. Don't you do that. Destiny says, drove the Transcan from home to Ontario via Canada, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba were indeed very flat and not so interesting.
It's the straightest road in the least interesting view ever. It's just nothing but, what is it, like grain fields, cornfields?
Yeah.
And every now and then you'll see a grain silo, and you'll be like, oh yeah, check out that grain silo. Wow.
The grain silos of Saskatchewan.
Wow. Look at that thing go by.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours go by.
Russell's calling the cops on you. Or whatever MST is. Montana State Troopers. Is that what that is?
Russell's calling the cops on Al?
No.
Al's calling the cops on Russell?
How would you say it? Shawa?
Shawa. What is that? Like chowda. Chowda. Chowda.
Chowda. That's a little Boston.
Say it again. Chowda. That's a Simpsons reference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David is saying that Saskatchewan is the only province where you can watch your dog run away for 3 hours. I've never heard that one before, David.
David said it wrong, though. You fixed it, Jess, in the telling.
I meant to. Destiny says, yep, just grain fields and then in Manitoba. Not much different. A few bushes here and there, and bam, Ontario, and an explosion of scenery.
Oh, yeah, Northern Ontario is a nice drive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Very scenic.
Very much so.
Once you pass, I think, Sudbury. Between Sudbury and Thunder Bay?
Yeah.
Interesting stuff.
Al says, the statute of limitations is stalled once you leave the state of the crime. It then begins again once you re-enter the state or country. Really?
So what is the limitation then?
I don't know. I didn't read the entire website.
I'm asking Al. I'm asking Al because he seems to know what we're talking about.
He's looking stuff up, getting us some
Is it
info.
7 years? So if I spend the next 7 years in Florida...
Why would you spend 7 years in Florida?
So to time out my statute.
Oh, I see.
He said the state/country. I assume it's either or, not the same. I could also just take like one step into Montana, pitch a tent, and just
waggle your fingers at the MST and then step across.
Just kind of ride under the radar for 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
we got 7 years.
I have no idea. I would have figured it was 10, round numbers and all that. But I don't know. I don't know.
Is 7 a round number?
I have no knowledge.
We're not doing like a Fibonacci sequence here.
No. I did notice. Well, I'm not going to talk about that. It's about whiskey. Forget about it. Just going to move right along. Nothing to see here, people.
It's not like we're talking about anything else. What do you got?
What do you mean? We're talking about we were talking about good stuff. We were talking about cake. Nothing wrong with cake. I'll talk about cake till the cows come home. We were talking about stuff. But wait, Al, what is this? 7 is correct. Okay. For most non-felonious crimes. That's good to know. In that case, what you need to do, Russell, is step back into Montana.
Pitch a tent.
And just
live off the land for 7 years while I I hide under the radar.
Yeah.
If the radar is here, then I'm down here.
Then you're down there.
Yeah.
Now, you're probably poaching to stay alive while you're doing that. So you may be collecting felonies.
Well, is anybody going to miss lizards and rattlesnakes and stuff?
Fair enough. Okay. All right, I'll give you that.
Lizard milk, because I need something for my coffee.
Yeah. Well, you can milk almonds, can't you? I wonder if they grow almonds in there.
Can you milk a lizard?
I wouldn't try.
Do they have rats there? You can milk a rat.
You could probably... You know where they don't have rats? Is Alberta. Not outside the Legislative Assembly, anyway. That's not political. I'm just... It's cultural. But yeah, no rats in Alberta. They're very, very aggressive about it. I don't know why I don't know why that was their hill to die on. That no, I'm not, Christy. It's like we're only on for another half hour, and so I'll let it go for this week. For this one.
Only on for another half hour, and you're not gonna have a dram?
No. And like last week, I had no booze because like I had my bottle up on the table here, all set to go, and then like my 5-year-old came and popped up on screen. I was like, oh, okay, there goes the alcohol for tonight. And it ended up being kind of an enjoyable stream. Like I didn't fall asleep halfway through. I didn't say anything completely stupid, and so I was like, that was pretty cool. So I don't really feel the need to pop back the booze. I mean, I'm not gonna be booze free every stream or anything, but like if I forget the glass, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I mean, I've still got water and I've still got tea. I'm actually out of water and tea. Am I out of tea? Oh no. And tea is a good drink. So what I was going to say is that this COTE-SAINT-LUC, all of their aged stated releases are prime numbers. 13, 17, 21, I think. There's another one.
19?
I don't think they have a 19.
21 is not a prime number.
No, it's
23?
Yeah, they're all prime numbers. Which I find compelling. I think that's cool. I mean, there's a choice, because they don't make a big deal about it or anything. In fact, am I going to look them up? No, I'm not going to waste the live stream time looking them up. But yeah, like it's not part of their marketing or anything. It was just noticed by a reviewer. And I was like, that is enchanting. Like, there's a geek somewhere in their decision-making team. Gabe says, this is men's mental health. Stay strong, Kings. It's funny that you talk about that because I'm not going to dive into it because no, that's not what this week's live stream is about. But it's funny how many of us don't ever talk about anything, and then like one day the cork kind of pops, and then you do or say something really stupid. I mean, I do and say stupid things all the time, but that's different. That's not really out of my way. But I know that like a lot of guys are the type to not show their their vulnerabilities and stuff like that. Talk to your buddies. Yeah. So that's my PSA for that. Any more down that line, I'm gonna get modeling or whatever. I have so many windows open. I wanted to show you guys something, but I can't find it. Like I have a bazillion because I've got like now finally my two screens both work. So all that meant was that I had more real estate to cover with open tabs. Hold on, I'm trying to get comfy here. What are you typing? So, oh, Grace just got an advert. Did anyone else get an ad just now at 11:03? I say boop. Hold on a second, peoples. Got it. I'm getting kind of tired though, so let's close her down at 11:15.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave now.
All right.
So see everybody. Peace soup.
All right. Good night, mister. Did anyone else? Okay, so Destiny didn't get an ad. Christy did, and Grace did. Okay, so I still can't figure out why. No, wait, Destiny, do you have YouTube Pro or whatever the paid YouTube is? Because like Russell doesn't get ads, but he's on YouTube Premium. Is that what it's called? Marcus got an ad. Tim got an ad. And Destiny's not paid YouTube. So I don't know what YouTube's. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is. I have no idea because I didn't get an ad either over on my YouTube window. David says it's YouTube Premium. Yeah, David, are you using Premium? I kind of feel that Premium would probably be worth it, but I'm already paying for so many streaming services that like just throwing another whatever it costs per month onto the pile is just like, oh, because I'm also paying big money for StreamYard, right? Like there's only so many things I can sign up for every month. And even this StreamYard Premium, if like, can I really afford it? You know, but you know, whatevs. Okay, David says that YouTube Premium is $14 a month. For the amount of YouTubes that I watch, that kind of might be worth it, but I don't know. I'm reluctant to pull the trigger on that. Absolutely. David says that Marcus is past his bedtime. I kind of past my bedtime too. I mean, whatevs. I'm not gonna go down that line of discourse because then I'll start to yawn. Like as soon as I start talking about, oh yeah, I'm a little tired, then and then it's over. Yeah, Russell thinks that we should all be on YouTube Premium. And there's the thing. It's it's good for YouTubers, right? Because there's a segment of that they get. It's good for not having to watch ads. Yeah, I think I keep thinking I'll look into it, and then of course life gets in the way, and I look into other stuff and do work and stuff. But I don't know. And I can see from YouTube's position, like they got to make money somehow, and the advertising money is a lot less there than it has been, and that's partly due to YouTube's own inability to deal with certain bad actors in the past because they made bank, kind of thing, right? So the advertisers are a lot more circumspect. So I get it. I do get it. Yeah, I'll look into it at some point. Well, there's the thing, Christy. Yes, absolutely. But if someone is a YouTube Premium subscriber, then they go into another category, right? I mean, it's still good for the YouTuber, but here's the thing: if you're depending on income from YouTube as a YouTuber, like I do, you're never going to be able to quit your job, right? It's swag and brand deals and stuff like that is where you can start to make the kind of money that you need if you want to. I'm going to be a full-time YouTuber. The advert money is just not there anymore. So, whereas it's good to have, memberships, Patreon, stuff like that. These are places where you can start planning to, make sure you can buy a new camera if this one ever goes, kind of thing. Marcus just got back home. Russell's asking if Marcus is going up and down. I do not know what that means. I'm just going to scroll back and take a look. Oh, Marcus is on a call. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. It all becomes clear. I forget things sometimes, people. Like what you guys do for a living or whatever. Oh, man. Marcus is picking up Russell's rock and running with it. Okay. Use guys. It's after 11 o'clock and everyone gets a little dirty, eh? Just a little bit. Water's finished. Tea is almost finished. My God, how am I going to make it? How am I going to make it the next 6 minutes? Russell's asking a good question. How are the dogs? Marcus. So for those of you who don't know, Marcus got a couple of dogs recently. They were youngins, and now they're big. All right. Good night, David. Have yourself some sweet dreams. Speak to you later. Destiny's saying good night to David Evans. I'm sure everyone will be saying good night to David Evans. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the jam tonight. I'll do it next week. Next week I may be late because, of course, if I have my dates right, next Tuesday. Ooh, next Tuesday will definitely be late if I can be on at all. My eldest daughter has a school concert. Let me see what the timing on that's going to be, because I don't want to miss a live stream night. Maybe I'll move it. I don't know. Whatever. To be continued. We'll talk about that when I know what's going on. Christy says your kids are still in school. Who the hell? Just waiting for their spray appointment. They were youngins, now they're bigins. Yeah, exactly. Doing great. Just waiting for their spay appointment. That's an important appointment. Never mind the peeps. These guys are the dirty martinis. I love it. Good night. Wait, isn't it summertime and they're out of school? No, not yet. Not yet. Getting close though. Getting real close. For the eldest, there's exam period until the 12th or something like that. For the youngest, I don't remember when her last day is, but around the same time. Then they're both in summer camp. Destiny is bonsoir et bisous. See you next week. Destiny. Susie did not get an ad. That's good to know. That's good. I still don't understand how YouTube figures it out, but anyway. Carol is saying good night all as well. Good night, Carol. Oh, yeah, because it's 23:12. Russell is asking if Marcus is getting it done at the SPCA. They were the cheapest. When I took Willow, everyone thought she was a wolf. I love that. I love it. Yeah, I've always had my dogs and cats done at the SPCA because that's where I've gotten most of my animals. Like, can you get an animal done there that you didn't get from there? Oh, interesting. Marcus says, we tried, but there's none near us that do large breed animals, so we had to use the vet. I did not even know anything like that. Christy's, good night all. Have a great rest of the week. You too, Christy. I'll probably speak to you soonish. Anyway, but have yourself a great week. Susie, no premium and no advert. Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't. Tim is still here, planting tomatoes, squash, cucumbers. Big garden this year. Our garden's always the same size. We don't have a lot of space, so we try to make it work with plants that work well in smaller spaces. I have great hopes for the garden this year. We got some cool stuff in there. I have great hopes for not losing my hot peppers to the squirrels this year. What I'm doing is I'm putting coffee in the coffee grounds in the earth that the plants are in, and hoping that, because I've heard that squirrels don't like the smell of coffee. If worse comes to worse, I'll just sprinkle cayenne around them or something. I got to keep my peppers squirrel free this year. It broke my heart that I lost all my peppers last year, all of them. Stupid squirrels. There we go. So we're at we're coming down to the last minute. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna cut it here in like 30 seconds at 11:15, because I'm getting tired and I don't want to be like on camera. So thanks to Russell for popping in for a while. Thanks to all of you guys for hanging with me till the bitter end here. Tim uses the skip feature. I do the same thing, but then the person, I try not to do that when I'm watching a friend's YouTubes, because then they don't get the sweet micro sense. But okay, good night everyone. Between now and next week, hopefully everybody, please stay sane, stay healthy, stay safe, and be kind to one another.